Hey, it's Olga here, and we are back with the second video for this three-part video series, How to Start Writing. And if you're a researcher or scientist who is struggling with starting to write your paper or PhD thesis, or you've written a bit and then it slipped to the bottom of your priorities or slipped at the back burner, you are here in the right place. We're talking about how to overcome procrastination, how to overcome your writing block, how to make a start, and then grow content fast of your paper or your thesis chapter, stay on track until completion, and finally send it to your supervisor or submit to the journal. All right, if you've been procrastinating and just feeling scattered about your paper or your thesis, and just when you sit down and you just spend a lot of time just not really accomplishing much, maybe reading up on this, maybe taking a couple of notes and then getting up and not really having anything to show for. So maybe this is your situation, or maybe you're in a situation where you are very, very busy and you never have time to even sit down to write, because you have one project, another project, traveling to data collection center, to conferences, and so on and so on, and there may be family or even another job, and then you just never find time for this. Or maybe it's really when you do find time, you just don't even know where to start. So that may be your situation where you feel totally lost. Which part should you do? If you should do data analysis, or you should write introduction. So you're feeling lost and don't know where to start. So you might resonate with this different situation. So you might have a little bit of all at different times. You are here in the right place. We're discussing it. I'm sharing with you strategies and inspiration how to start writing. So we've got our video number 1. You can, if you haven't seen it, go to the top, click the button, or there at the bottom of the side, right? So find that button, video 1. This is where I help you to create clarity around your writing project, around your paper or your PhD thesis. Okay, so go there and also leave the comment below. Today is a video number 2, and we're talking about how to find time for writing. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you a time management strategy, and I'm also gonna blast through the most common obstacles, and so you will see that you're not alone, that researchers around the globe suffer from it, and many of them keep it secret because they're even embarrassed to share it. They think it's only them alone struggling with them, but it's actually like a global problem. So I've heard now from scientists from Europe, from UK, from United States, from Canada, and from Australia or Malaysia. We all have this problem, so I'm gonna blast through them today. So let's do it. Okay. So we talk about how to make time for writing. So your situation can be just that you're very, very busy and there is never time. All right. So first of all, you need to make it as a priority. You really need to declare that I need to write this paper. I need to start writing my PhD thesis. And the video number 1 help you to create that clarity, which paper to write, which chapter you're going to work on. Now, my suggestion, my strategy for you is to create a finite time just for your writing. That's what we call here a writing ritual. So it's very important that it's a finite time. It's not like that you go through your days and wish that finally you're gonna have the whole day without anything that you could just sit down to write, that there nothing is gonna bother you. You don't need to wait for it. You could just have finite time, which can be relatively short. It could be depending on your situation. Let me give you some examples. It could be 45 minutes every day at the beginning of the day. It could be even 1 hour once a week. It worked for many of my clients. It depends on your timeline, depends on how urgent you need to have it. So if you want to have a paper ready in 3 months, let's say, or 4 months, because you haven't managed to write it for the last 2 years, so that's really going to be a good achievement. It can be just 1 hour per week. After 3 months, you're gonna have 13 sittings, 13 or 14 sittings, and during that time, if you do very specific, very focused tasks for your paper, you're gonna go a long way. So if for some of you it sounds like that's very little, 1 hour per week, you can make a huge difference. For some of you it will be 45 minutes every day at the beginning of the day, and those of you who need to write a lot, and it's mostly for you PhD students here, that can be 2 hours early in the day and 2 hours later in the day. And this is just 4 hours a day, while many of you think I should be writing all the day, 8 hours. But I just want to bust that myth and say 8 hours a day is just not realistic and not sustainable. You won't be able to do it for very long, even if you manage it once. So 2 hours early in the day and 2 hours later, like in the afternoon. Okay, so this is what we are addressing, is finite time. Schedule it in your calendar. And I know some of you might be smiling, oh, I've tried this, I've scheduled my writing, especially those of you who are like higher in the career, and you get so busy with all the meetings and supervising students, and you might be familiar that if you scheduled writing, something definitely will go on top of that, right? Like a meeting would be announced. So it is very important to learn to protect that time. In fact, here the Productivity for Science, we joke about it and say that you need to become a master of hiding from everyone and everything during that time. So yeah, it's a huge problem around the world that you constantly get distracted, interrupted. So you really need to hide from everyone. And it could be early in the morning when you just wake up and you do your writing first thing in the morning. This is how I wrote my PhD. It could be that you come earlier at work before everyone arrives. It could be that during the day you go somewhere and hide. It may be in the library, in the cafe, or if you travel a lot, work on the train or on the plane. But you need to prepare for that, right? So that you've eaten, that you have some plenty like water to drink, and that you have a very specific task that you're going to cover during this hour, 45 minutes. And this is why it works, that you will have like a piece of paper, here it's an envelope, it doesn't matter, and you write very specific tasks that you're going to cover during this hour. You come up with 4 tasks. Each of them takes 15 minutes. You can cover those 4 tasks and you can make a huge progress in your paper, in your thesis. For your thesis, it could be write a paragraph on this, write a paragraph on this, create that table, create that figure, or write figure captions. So very specific tasks. So what else is peculiar about this writing ritual, this finite time when you spend time on just your writing, is that there are no distractions and no interruptions, because this is what really holds us from making that progress. Okay, so you need to close down the Facebook or Twitter, you need to close down your email, you need to put your Skype on unavailable, you need to put your phone on the flight mode or put it in the other room. So you need to remove the distractions. Our brain is not developed to deal with so much information and so many distractions, and just focus on your writing. And you need to remove all the interruptions. So you need to make sure that no one interrupts you during the time. This is why we said you need to become a master at hiding from everything and everyone. And if you work from home and there's a family around, you need to start educating them that this is when mommy or daddy works and you're not to disturb me. Make sure that they are occupied, your children, or your spouse, your husband or your wife, or your partner, or your friends, so that they know that you are work during this time and you're not to be interacted. I hear a lot from the clients who come to me that they say, oh, the friend texts or their mother or they their relatives message them and they feel compelled to answer to them immediately. No way, you can't do it during this hour. Okay, so I'm gonna now share with you a testimonial from Aude. She's a research scientist in the USA who had a paper waiting to be written from her previous post, but now being busy with a new project at her current job, she just never got around to do it. So that's what she says. I had been following Olga's blog for a few months when I decided to take the next step and register for the class, start writing and get it done. At that time, I was struggling writing a paper from my previous postdoc while starting a new project for my current position. I was feeling completely overwhelmed, but at that time, I was spending hours focusing on unnecessary details. As a consequence, I was lacking sleep, getting frustrated, and not even enjoying my recent achievements, 2 papers published in the past month. 12 weeks after starting the course, I'm about to submit that paper. Working with Olga was made me realize the difference between urgent and important. I have now set up a list of priorities and organized my schedule according to them. I have been able to finish data analysis for that paper and stick to a writing schedule by producing data on my project and training for half marathon. I also now take the time to celebrate achievements, small or big. I enjoyed a lot of the format of the course, which consists in short videos. Okay, I'm going to skip this for now. The tools provided by Olga help me to keep a regular overview of the activities and tasks I accomplish. To my opinion, Olga's successful career as a scientist makes a difference with any other organization courses because she perfectly understands the everyday struggles of a graduate student or of a postdoc. Olga knows what it means to be overwhelmed by data analysis, and she can recognize all the different forms that procrastination takes in the life of a scientist. Thanks, Olga, for your great support. I am now actually looking forward to writing the next paper. Okay, so I hope you also learn the strategies here and get the motivation, and you're going to be looking forward to writing your next paper. In this testimonial, you see that she got organized, she got structured, and then she talks about looking forward. This is a mindset, and this is something we're going to talk in the video number 3. It's coming shortly. So if you haven't watched video 1, watch it now. Watch video number 2 and leave a comment below. What did you get out of those videos? What are you implementing? And if you have any questions, post them below. And I'm here to answer, but it's also for other people to see that they are not alone, because a lot of the scientists work in loneliness and isolation. So them and you actually seeing that there are other scientists in the same situation with similar struggles actually can help you to see that you're not alone and help you overcome those struggles as well. All right, so far we have a lot of really good comments and I've enjoyed answering them. So post more comments below and I'll see you in the video number 3. Bye for now. Bye.